Bonjour, ladies and gents. This episode today with Mo Gilligan, it went on for so long. We had such a good chat that we've decided to split it over 2 episodes. So enjoy. Here is part 1.
Well, if I can find a queue action from some weddings, I'm going to love it.
The backlash makes me horny.
We're up for the banter.
It's a comedian.
Hello, welcome back to That Josh James Show, a podcast for the geezers.
And their birds.
As ever, I'm joined by Romford's number 1 podcaster, Chrissy White, aka White Boy. What's happening, son?
How we doing, brother?
Good, mate. Yeah,
Very
got
special
very special
guest.
guest today, haven't we?
Yes, bruv.
Do you want to introduce him?
Yeah, this is someone you might know. Maybe say he's A-list. Definitely a household name. Mr. Mo Gilligan.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome, bruv.
Appreciate you, man.
What's
Love, man.
happening, man?
Love, man. Love,
Thanks for
love.
coming
The
in.
original geezer.
Can I ask you something? Did you guys practice that intro?
Wait, no. I swear to God.
was so
It
smooth.
just happened.
It was so smooth.
Do you know what it was? How did that come about?
You said it once, a podcast for the geezers, and we both went, and their birds. It just happened on here. And then it's stuck ever
It was
since.
so smooth. I felt like you don't need to emphasize that so much more, man.
Yeah.
If you were a tradesman, then that was your slogan, selling carpets or something. I would be like, listen, I need to get whatever these guys are selling.
yeah.
Because it was so smooth, man. Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Podcast for the geezers and the birds, mate. How you been, mate? Good?
I'm good, man. Yeah. Very good, man. It's
Been
always
busy?
good. Yeah, been busy, but like nice busy. It's not like, I think before, like I was being known as Mr. Saturday Night TV.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was on television 4 times in one day. It was crazy. I think I'd done Saturday breakfast, and then I think Mars Singer was on John Bishop's show, and then I think Gogglebox. And even
All
I
on
was
the same night?
All on the same day. And I was like, it's not that deep. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm in a different type of busy because like we're doing touring, but I've got a little time off just so I can chill, spend some time with like my family and friends and stuff.
So you're on telly 4 times in one day, but is that filmed throughout the week or previously weeks before?
No, so Saturday Kitchen, they do that live.
Right.
Sensational stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, like you just eat food, innit?
Yeah.
It sounds
You
like a
eat
bit of me.
food.
You'd hate it.
Oh, no. I think you don't eat certain
You
food.
don't eat nothing.
No, I
You don't
don't.
eat salad, innit?
I don't eat salad. Yeah.
Yeah, that one stresses me out, you know?
I don't eat salad. I don't eat fruit. Yeah, I don't.
He
I
doesn't
just,
eat a lot, mate.
I just eat plain. Like
Do you
in there, I had my chicken and rice.
Do you remember when I found out when I'm one of those people, I'll keep asking questions, innit?
Yeah.
So like I'll be silent. So I'm like, so you don't eat no salad? And then Josh was like, nah, mate. And I'm like, what about carrots? You must like carrots. He's like, nah. So I'm like, so if you get a food like with Nando's and there's salad, would you eat it? And Josh was like, nah, wouldn't touch it. And I was like, this is stressing me out, man. This is stressful.
I'd send it back, wouldn't I?
He started
send it
taking
back.
multivitamins now to counteract the fact that he
Yeah,
gets
because
no nutrition.
everyone's reaction is like, what, you don't eat salad? Like, since I've been doing this podcast as well, like it's always been pretty normal to me. Just not eat, you know what I mean? Just having like my turkey Twizzlers and you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But then since I've been doing this podcast, people are like, oh, you don't eat this and that. And I'm like, no. So I started getting the multivitamin tablets
Okay.
to try and counteract it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if that's working or not.
Is there any food you don't eat?
No,
You eat everything.
everything.
Yeah, you're like me, bro. I eat better.
Come on, bruv.
Yeah. Apart from marmalade, I don't fuck with
Oh,
marmalade.
you know what? I went out the other day,
Yeah.
played golf at this right posh gaff. I'm like, you know what? Can I have some toast? You got some marmalade, please?
Yeah.
And I had toast with marmalade, cup of tea.
Swear down.
That's
Man
it.
like Paddington.
That's exactly what I was like. I feel like Paddington Bear out here. I never used to like it because it had the peel in
Yeah,
it.
that's what I don't like.
But like, I don't know, my palate's refined these days.
Yeah.
I can back that. The one thing I don't love is like liver.
Oh, I like liver.
But I do like pate, which is
Ooh,
made from
okay.
liver. So it ain't the
Yes, yeah,
flavour. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it's more of a textural thing.
Yeah.
I don't really fuck with offal. You know what I mean?
that?
Offal is like organs.
Oh, where can you get this?
My dad's a meat wholesaler, brother. I'll get you anything you want.
Oh, is it?
Get you a bit of snake,
Intestines and
whatever. Yeah.
Haggis. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know about them.
But
foods-
haggis is good because I've tried haggis. I've had Scottish breakfast. You get the haggis. As long as you're not thinking about what it is, it
Yeah.
tastes
What
good.
is haggis?
Haggis is like lungs and that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The stomach
But it's
of
got
the sheep or
oats,
something or something.
sheep stuff. Yeah, there's loads of bits in there, mate.
Oh, I don't like haggis.
Sheep's
I just don't like the
intestine.
look of it. Do you know what it looks like? Do you remember when you open like a sofa and you see the sponginess?
Yeah.
You know that sponginess, and then you rip it open,
Yeah.
and it looks it's just yellow, and then you're like, I'm gonna eat this.
But I've had it like sliced and like fried in butter, and it's nice.
Oh, okay.
It is
Haggis
good.
is like a good metaphor for the Edinburgh Fringe, I think. Just like
Yes.
absolutely butters.
Yeah. Inexpensive.
Yeah.
And expensive, but not for people like us.
Nobody needs it, but it exists. But if you're from a working class background, just try it. You might like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a tradition. It's going to be around forever,
yeah.
but no one really eats it.
I always remember when I first started. Well, no, not when I first started, but when you started blowing up, people were like, "Oh, do you know Mo Gilligan? You know,
Oh,
like
sick, man.
he's not done the Edinburgh Fringe Festival."
Oh no! Do you know what I did? But not on like a big scale. I done it on like a small scale.
You done a shit because the first time I went to Edinburgh,
Yeah.
this is what's like mad about your whole journey and like this and that. Is I can remember the first time I went to Edinburgh, I was in this competition and I went up for a couple of days, and I remember looking at the posters,
Hmm.
and I'm looking at all these posters and I'm just like, nah, like none of this. It was like a bit of me.
Yeah.
And then I saw your poster with K Kurd.
Yes,
You'd done a
yes.
split hour, and I'm like
Ticking all the boxes. That's what it was called.
ticking all the boxes. But
Yeah,
I was like, oh no, they look like a bit of me.
Yeah.
And it was mad.
Oh, I'll be so honest. Going to Edinburgh, it was good to do, but I hated the experience.
Yeah.
Because it was like we stayed in a hostel, and it's all right. It's okay. It's okay staying in a hostel, especially if you're going to Edinburgh because it's so expensive. And it's not like we was in an okay hostel where we had our own bedroom, but we had to share the bathroom and kitchen with other people, which is fine. But I remember, like, I'm one of those people where when it comes to if we're sharing bathrooms, just standard cleanliness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, bit of courtesy.
Yeah, one time I woke up, someone had left the poo in the toilet. I was fuming, man. And they had no, you know what really annoyed me the most? It was that there was no tissue in it. So it was just like a naked poo just lying there. I
Yeah.
was fuming. And I was like, raw, so what? People are just shitting and not flushing the toilet. And then like,
All wiping their ass.
yeah. And then it was just like other things, but obviously we wasn't making much money, so it was doing like a bucket split.
Yeah.
And like me and Kay, like we was working in retail at the time, so I had taken 2 weeks off of holiday in my retail schedule.
John Malone.
No, I was at Reiss these times.
okay.
Yeah. I was at Reiss. So I took the 2 weeks off. I say 2 weeks. Yeah, so I took 2 weeks off, but I was in a transition of going to another job.
Right.
So the manager I had at the time was on this whole, oh, let me know if you're gonna. But then we had this other assistant manager, and then he was just like, look, hand in your notice and then add your 2 weeks because you'll still get paid for it, and then you can leave. So I was kind of going from one job to another job, but we were broke. Me and Kay were broke. So whatever we made on the bucket was how we would eat lunch, basically, innit? So if we got, like one time someone gave us €1, oh man, like 10 euros, you had to change it and split it. So I think the whole experience, it was good to do, but I hated it, man.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Yeah.
The weather.
The weather for
Horrible.
one, but I just think the whole culture around it. It's like you sort of have to. I always thought. I mean, I'm never going to take a show up to Edinburgh now. You know, going on tour next year. But I always thought to myself, right, if I come up here, I'm going to have to sort of be me, but I'm going to have to wash it down a bit.
Yes.
So that they get it.
Exact same
Do
thing.
you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you just know with an artsy sort of festival, they ain't going to get the references or what, or you know.
And I think, you know what's interesting about Edinburgh? I knew walking around, like, I look at the posters of everyone else, I knew I didn't fit in, and I didn't feel like I fitted in. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I was just like, people look at me like, you even a comedian? I'm like, yeah, man. Yeah. I just dress and have nice clothes. Do you know what I mean?
I work in Reiss, bro.
So like, I didn't fit in, and that's nothing against Edinburgh, but it's like, it's very like, I think when I was going and stuff, they got this after hours place that everyone can go to and stuff. Yeah. And everyone's mingling and stuff, and you know, everyone's talking about how great their show was. Meanwhile, me and Kate, we were struggling. So, you know, like, we can't pretend we're having a great time. And, you know, you've got, you know, I don't know, Phyllis, and she's like, oh, hi, man. What's going on? How's the show going? Mine's amazing. So how's it going with you? And we're like, we're on the ropes, you know?
Yeah. We're splitting 10 euros.
I am struggling. I couldn't get a trim nowhere. Like, it's just all the small things. But I would say the experience was good because I knew if I never done it then, like, I'm not saying I don't want. I never would have done it now, but it was like good to do, and I've ticked it off, and I've done the thing.
As an up and coming comedian, you probably should do a bit of Edinburgh Fringe.
Do you know what I think I'd always say to people, just go up there, even if you don't perform, and just say, look, I went up there and I've done like 1 or 2 gigs, and that will give you whatever you want, wherever you want to go and do it. Because it is nice to gig every day.
Oh, it's great, and you get better in that sense.
Yes,
but it's totally the same. Of like, I remember going out once, and I was just, I mean, I never thought it was a bit of me, but then I was just absolutely sure. I went into this one bar, which was like where people go after they perform.
I think that's the one. Yeah.
And they were doing a dance off.
Yeah.
And they were doing a dance off, and what they were doing, like when someone, like they liked what someone done, they were clicking like that. They go, oh yeah.
Nah.
And I'm like, no, I can't pretend. I just can't.
White people having a dance off.
I can't. And I just thought, if my mates saw me now where I was, they would absolutely ruin me. And they're like, oh, look, they're in a dance off. And I'm just like, I don't want to be horrible. Be nice. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. You know?
Yeah. I think what's interesting though about Edinburgh is that one thing I do love about it is that I see other shows, like some shows I've seen that are so good that I'm like, I think that I'll be honest, I've seen some of the best like live shows that's so creative that you can think of, and it's hard because you're like, this should be on television, and because some of them I'm not really like, I love comedy in it, but in terms of watching it, I watch it very differently to being a fan, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're analytical.
And especially in Edinburgh, I'm like, I would have probably turned those lights down, or maybe push the seats a bit forward and make it more intimate. But I like watching those shows that like, sometimes you get like really people who are very kooky, do you know what I mean? And they do really creative things. Like reminds me a bit of like Jim Carrey a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I seen this one guy, and he had, it wasn't even a guy, I think they were French or something, but they were doing like music with like random instruments and stuff. But it was so fun. It was comedy packed. Every night was packed, but it was so good, man.
Yeah, just real creative. So not necessarily comedy, but like good shows.
Yeah.
Well, my favourite one, it was like an a cappella group.
Oh, wicked.
We went up for like 2 or 3 nights, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, an extra one because he fucked the flights up, but that's a story for another day. 6 a.m. our flight, we showed up at 6 p.m. at the airport.
You was doing all right if you got flights up there, though.
Yeah. I always get a flight up there.
Yeah.
It's only 50 quid.
Yeah, if you got flights up there, you were doing all right in life, because when you meet everyone else, you know, how did you get up? I'm like, we got on the night on the bus.
On the
bus.
On the mega
National
bus.
Express,
So some people get the mega bus, and then I think there's like a mega bus night bus where it's got actual beds and you can sleep on it.
Okay.
But like, I remember, I think at the time, me and Kay, we got trains up there, and that's about 5 hours.
Yeah.
And even then, people are like, oh my God, wow, that's expensive. You guys are doing well in life. And we're like, trains? We're like, it's a train. This is it's 5 hours, man. Do you know
That's
what I mean?
a rat. The trains are a rat. Yeah.
So when you went to Edinburgh and realised I really had a bit of you up there, is that when you thought, I mean, because before you started doing the social media thing, I feel like there was a few people doing it, but I feel like this is how I always describe what you've done. You're almost like the first sort of credible comedian to do it and then make yourself a success off the back of it. You know what I mean?
Thanks, man.
But when you
Appreciate
went to
that.
Edinburgh and you're like, it's not a bit of me, was it a conscious effort to then start doing things on social media, or not really?
Do you know what it was? I used to be quite one of those, like, I'll be honest, man, I tried to be like this whole purist when it came to doing comedy on social media, because I was like, one, I didn't want to put clips up because none of my stand-up clips used to do very well at that time, because it was almost like social media was like the people that follow you see your stuff. It's not like now when you can put it out and it gets shared like almost to everyone. So one, I didn't ever want to put stuff out. And then ideas I had for sketches, I used to be like, I don't know if I can execute this in 15 seconds or a minute. Do you know what I mean? I think after coming from Edinburgh, I realized that just weren't for me. Do you know what I mean? It was like, no matter how, if I do a show or I do a really good hour, that's not where I'm going to find my audience. Do you know what I mean? So I think I kind of went back to the drawing board, just improved on my set and just done more club stuff, if that makes sense. And I was doing a lot of club stuff anyway, but just really homing in on like having a good 20 minutes. Do you know what I mean? A good 10 and a good 20. Because before I went to Edinburgh, I had done some competitions as well. So there's one called Laughing Horse I done, and another one called Amuse Moose. I never won any of them. I think one of
You
them.
got to the final of Amuse Moose. I always remember that.
Yeah, I got to the final. That was nice. But then it's like, you get to the final, and the final is in Edinburgh. And it's like, you know, if you bring enough people and they all laugh at your stuff, then you're going to win. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know that's how the game was played. So I'm going up there like, yeah, man, it's all even. It's all fair for everyone. Yeah. And you're like, oh, hold on a sec. Like, my set's very good. Like, and I think in the end I don't know if I was second or third. I don't know. Or I was always doing a lot of shows and getting like, I don't know, I wouldn't win, but it was like, and this is one that the judges think is a special talent, but not a winner. Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is that then, man?
Yeah.
Consolation prize.
Yeah.
So like if the final's in South London, you're winning because you get all your boys to come and laugh loud.
Do you know what it is? I think if it was in London, it's like a crowd I feel like I can relate to. Do you know what I mean? Taking me out my comfort zone, that is all the way up in Edinburgh, which I've never been before. And then you've got this show in the afternoon. And, you know, all comics, we're all competing as well. So it doesn't feel like a comedy club. It just feels like I get to go to Edinburgh. Bearing in mind, we still had to pay. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're in the final of a competition and you still got to pay.
What do you get if you win this competition?
You get £1,000. And I said, if I win, I can buy a car. I wanted to buy a Fiat Punto. I know the one I wanted as well. I was like, I know.
How old are you at this point?
No, I was like mid-20s.
Okay.
But it was like, you know them cars where you're like, it'll be an A to B car. It'll be, do you know what I mean? I was like, that's the car I want. I wanted a Fiat Punto or a Renault Clio. But like, I'm talking like old ones.
Renault Clios, they was nice.
Yeah. They're not too bad,
for
man.
a smaller car.
Yeah, I had it planned. I said I'm going to get tinted windows. I'm going to get hubcaps, silver hubcaps.
Yeah.
I had it all planned, man. Didn't win. But I thought it was okay. It was just nice to go up there and experience it. But then I think once I came back, started doing more stand-up. And then what happened, I used to just do silly stuff on Snapchat at the time.
Yeah.
So like ideas that I wanted to execute on stand-up, but I couldn't. They never would work because it'd be too long. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I do them on Snapchat as like a bit of a laugh. Didn't really have any followers, but people was like, oh, this is funny. And I'd do like a whole for about an hour. I'd do a whole DJ set of other DJs, innit? I used to do this random Dutch DJ called DJ Van Houten, and then I'd do like a little garage DJ. I'd do like a road DJ and stuff, and I'd have my laptop there for the sound effects, and I could DJ in it. I had like an app on there, so I would do it on my Snapchat as a bit of a laugh, and people would find it funny. Like, oh, cool! This is you guys kind of like this.
It sounds like something different, mate. I've never heard anything like it.
I was crazy, man. Like my neighbours would have been like, "Is this guy cracking? What's wrong with this guy?" But it was just like, I think I just needed a outlet for my creativity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And then one of the ideas I had, I was just like, oh, this was quite funny. And I clipped it up, was the different types of MCs. So it was like, I think it was like an American, like the fake American MC. That's like, come on, guys, it's art as hell. Oh my God, I'm art show. So it was that guy. And then I had the MC who forgets his lyrics at the drop. The MC who really wants to kill you, like his lyrics were like, I'm gonna punch you in your face and put you in the boot. Like, and you're like, right, he's really talking it. And then I clipped it all together and I went to the cinema and I just put it on my Instagram, but I put my phone on airplane mode. Because I didn't obviously, watching a film and stuff. And when I came out of the cinema, it just like I got a lot more likes. I can't really say it went viral for me.
Yeah, but
like there were people liking it, and I was like, right, this is a lot. This was December the 13th, 2016. And I was like, oh, raw. And then the following day, GRM Daily reposted it. And when they reposted it, it went viral on their thing.
Nice.
So I had to message them and say, hey man, can you just
where's my credit? Just
credit me. That's all I used to want. I was like, just credit me. Yeah. And then they put it on their Facebook, and then the same thing. So I just realized, I was like, oh, I've got a little buzz from this stuff. Do you know what I mean? And that was a different retail place at this time. So I was at Levi's. Okay. So I used to work at Levi's, and I used to start work about 4:00. The shop would close at 8:00, but I'd have to clean the shop for an hour. So we'd like the shop would close at 8, but like we have to clean for an hour to 9. So put out the bins, dust and stuff like this. So I used to make my videos in the afternoon before I started work. Like ideas, I do like I don't know, types of police that stop you. They would all be in my bedroom. I was at my mum's house, clip them together, and then I'd always be like, put it out in the evening because that was known as like prime time.
Yeah. How old are you at this point?
At this point, I'm just in my late 20s at this point.
Yeah.
But I'm in a really transitional period because like I've been doing comedy for quite a while. And I'm not saying I never had my break. I'd done some really cool shows and stuff. You know, I went to Edinburgh. It didn't really work out for me. I wasn't getting any TV work. Like I'll get trials for shows. Like remember doing a trial for 8 out of 10 Cats.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to the guys, oh, this is going to work, man. I'm going to get it. And then I remember doing it and I was just like, nah, it just didn't work. So I just knew that like, I was in a really, like, I wouldn't say I wanted to quit, but I was like, just keep doing what I could do in it.
Totally getting,
You can only take so much. There's only so...
A little bit, yeah.
There's only so much you can keep on knocking on the door. I've very much been at that
100%.
sort of position probably over, at times over the last couple of years, for sure. So yeah.
Yeah, man. And then kept putting out the videos and just being consistent with the videos because I started seeing this this kind of thing I created and it just started getting bigger where, I get 5,000 followers, 10,000 followers. And I was like, oh, right, this is growing quite quicker than I'd thought. And so we're in like 2017 now. I'm still in retail. And then I remember I started getting like interest from, I think like One Extra was like, oh, you should come in for a trial to, we'd love to see you, be a DJ and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, that at the time was like, I was like, yeah, I could do that. That's like the thing I wanted to do. I tried it. I'm dyslexic. So if I'm doing something, like let's say, you had to work the desk, to drive the desk as they call it.
Yeah.
So you got to learn how to put it down, have your other one queued up. The track is like changing for another one, speak, and then you got to like, okay guys, and play that one.
You got to wrap that up in 15 seconds because the next tune's about to
Bro,
drop.
my dyslexia was on a level 10,000, bruv. I'm like, hold on, what? And I'm doing the trial and I'm pressing the wrong buttons. And this lovely guy at One Extra, I can't remember his name, man. He's been there for years, but he was like really helping me, innit?
Yeah.
And then I'm starting to like, my thing is when I get stressed out, I panic. So when I panic, I'll keep doing the wrong thing and it will stress me out. But I will look so cool. I'll look so cool and calm. But in my head, like, I'm like,
Yeah, panic
you're right.
mode.
I'm like, yeah. So I'm trying to do it. And then in the end, I remember saying to my my manager at the time, I was just like, oh, can I just change one of my shifts? Because I'm just getting a few more opportunities coming up. And I wanted to start really learning how I could be a better, whether it's a radio presenter and stuff. Because I feel like I can do the talking, but just learn to drive this desk thing. And a few other opportunities would come, there's a few people that would be like, oh, we love Mo to come in, for just a meeting, just to meet you and stuff. And it feels nice when you go into like a big office and you see some BAFTAs and stuff.
It happened to me up there with your BAFTA.
Oh yes, yeah. Yeah, man. So there's a like I was in a nice like transitional period, but like nothing was happening. I was still in retail, still at Levi. But then what started happening is people would come in and then they come into the shop and like people would be like, and I'll be like, oh, what's good, my guy? Like, you looking for some jeans and stuff? And people like, yeah. Bro, where do I know you from? Yeah. And I was like, oh, it's probably you're Mo, innit? I said, yeah. Bro, your videos are cold, man.
Yeah.
But people in the shop didn't really clock. So people like I'd work with would be like, who's that guy, man? Was that one of your friends? And I'm like, nah, that's a guy that he's seen my videos. And like, what video? Because I didn't invite them.
Nah, of course not.
So then, like, word gets around, and then I think one of my managers at the time, she'd seen the video. She's like, oh, I see your video. It's really funny, really, really good. I was like, oh, thanks, man. So I'm cracking on with the videos. I'm doing different types of MCs, part 4 at this time, trying other ideas. And then I remember saying to him, I was like, listen, like things are going really well. Can I just change one of my shifts? I think the manager at the time was like, no, you can't keep changing your shifts because you have opportunities not fair on everyone else.
Yeah.
So I was like, if that's the case, then I'll just leave. So and that was it. And then I left. And yeah, I remember about then that summer, I think 2-3 weeks after that, I'd done the first Geezer video at the time.
Yeah.
That just came from an idea of like, when the weather changes and a bit of sun comes out, Geezer's put on a string vest.
Yeah.
I went to Peckham actually, just up the road. I went to Peckham, I bought a string vest. But that's how I used to be like so into the videos because I'm like, I've got this idea. Go home, I'm gonna record it, see how it comes out, cut it up. And the idea was like, you know, when the sun comes out, geezers put a string vest on and be like, bloody hell, oh, it's lovely, such a Jamaica.
Yeah.
But then, like, guys in the ends, road guys, it will be hot and they'll have a puffer jacket.
Yeah. Of course.
And it'll be like, bro, are you hot? And he's like, no, I'm not even hot, you know, bro. And then I used to be so attentive to detail that, you know what I used to do? I used to put castor oil, right? All over my face, right? And then I'd spray myself with water.
Yeah,
so
to
it
look
looks-
like sweating,
Yeah. So, like, but when you see it on the quality of the phone, it doesn't show. It doesn't show that I was sweating.
So it's just pointless. You're just hot and covered in oil.
Greasy, bro.
Yeah.
So then I always say that's one of the videos that like, it was like my more like the other videos done well, but that one was just like, it was like a quotable one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah,
other
of
ones were
course.
just like, oh, that's a funny one, but that became a quotable. But it's like, no one really cared for the Roadman one. Everyone just liked this geezer one.
Yeah, the geezer was the one.
So I
wasn't
was like, oh, right, people really like this character. So I was like, I'll do another one. And then again, I was like, another idea. And I was like, what's this idea? And then I think it was just like, again, I talk to myself in my videos, innit? But people didn't know this. So when I'm doing the voices, so it's like, all right, babes, yeah, I got you a drink. People would be like, who's this doing the voices? And I was like, oh my God, they don't know. It's me. I'm the one. Yeah, and then I remember a couple of months after that, like, I think I felt when it really changed is that summer of 2017, like I'd left my job, put out these videos again, weren't making any money or anything from them. But I put out like the videos and then I got an email from BET and they was like, oh, hi Mo, we love your stuff. We want you. And they sent the email to me as well. Even though I was with Polly and Gelly and stuff, they sent it to me and they was like, we love your stuff. Want to fly you out to LA, experience the BET Awards, we'll pay for your flight, hotel, give you some money to come. If you can just capture some content for us, innit?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was on my stairs.
Yeah,
I was like shaking because I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I'm going to go to America for the first time.
Yeah.
It was so funny because Pauline Getty had no idea who BET was. So I was like, Getty, check the email. BET. And he's like, all right, mate. First of all, we'll just see what they want, right? because we don't know, all right? Just leave it with us, okay? I was like, I need to go.
He's such a killjoy, isn't he, Gelly? Whenever he gets too excited, he's like, just calm down.
Yeah. That's the most Gelly
I've had that a
move.
couple of
I
times.
was shaking on the stairs. I was like, listen, this is really important. I have to go. And it's like, yeah, it's all right. But yeah, I think just going out to LA, it just went from like, I left my job and then I got this opportunity like to go to LA
Yeah.
and experience like just a little taste of like, oh right, is this what doing all this stuff can get you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd never gone to America before. So that first time going to LA, had a great time. Myself and do you guys know T-Boy Tolu? He used to do Don't Jealous Me, the videos and stuff.
Tolu, who was
Yeah.
on Britain's Got Talent.
No. That's Toju. So he used to do
Toju, sorry.
the like these YouTube videos and stuff called Don't Jealous Me. And so it's like me and him together.
I think I have seen. No, I have seen. I've seen Tolu's clips. Yeah.
Cool guy, man. Really cool guy. And especially when you go out all the way to America, you want to be with someone that you're like, it's new for me, it's new for you. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
you've got your friend while you're there.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? Went to the award show. That was a load of fun as well.
Get some faces in there.
Yeah, man. We seen some people, man. Yeah. Even at the award show, you had like, Mary J. Blige, Migos, Bruno Mars. Who else performed? Oh, there's so many performers, man. And I remember just like documenting everything. Not because I wanted to put it on socials, but I was like, I don't know if this was happening.
For the memory.
Do you know what I mean? And where my life was, working in retail, living at my mum's, there's nothing wrong with that. But I was not like struggling, but I went from like a place where I'm like, I might just give this up because it's not like give it up, but it's like it's not working for me.
Yeah.
I might just do more hours at retail and just earn a bit more money.
Put your energy into that.
Yeah, because I had a job at the time and I was like, I can earn more money here than I'm gonna really earn doing stand-up. So I had that little taste of it. I remember flying on premium economy at the time and I was like, bro, this is fantastic, bro. Like the, silver knife and forks and like, it was just such
You
a
get
cool.
the big chair, yeah.
Yeah,
Premium
man.
economy's peak for you now. You've got to be
Oh
first
man,
class.
listen. Sometimes when I go to the toilet and I look back at the curtain, I'm like, Oh, that was me, man. let's bottom that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I like how my fortunes had changed. And then I remember then just saying, like, I was like, I need a plan now because these videos are going well. I want to experience this again. And I really want people to know that I'm a comedian. So the next plan then was the tour. You know, it was like, cool, I want to do a tour. I want to do stand-up and let people know I'm a stand-up because people didn't know I was a stand-up. But I'll be honest, man, doing all those videos from like 2016 all the way up until like probably like 2018.
Yeah.
I didn't earn any money from those videos.
Nah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like...
Nothing, yeah?
Yes, you know, like TikTok now, you can kind of monetize it
Yeah,
and all
of
that
course.
stuff. Like, I was broke, skint, the most broke I've ever been.
But
Like,
you've done 2 years worth of content, didn't get paid for it.
2 years worth of
That's
content.
persistent.
The one thing I was doing my own comedy shows. So that kind of helped a little bit of doing my own comedy shows and seeing people come. And that kind of inspired me to then be like, I want to do a tour now.
Yeah.
But then I remember when I put the tour on sale, I couldn't do my little small comedy shows anymore called Cracking Up Comedy because they're like, look, we need to sell tickets for the tour. So if you selling these somewhere else, it's not helping the tour. That was the worst stage of my life I've ever been. I've never been, because I've always been quite independent of like, how can I make money some way just to pay bills?
Yeah.
Like, so whether it was like, I used to be into trainers, like selling trainers, trading. Like I'll buy them, camp out, sell them. And that's how I would make money. But that period of just like, you're doing all the content and it's hard because people recognize you on the street and they're like, oh, what's good? Can I get a picture? Can I get this? Can I get that? And you're like, it's all good and it's all good. It's nice. But I was like the brokest, like I think I've ever been since school. Like I remember just that period, almost like, I want to say like 8 or 9 months.
Yeah.
Just like no money.
See, that's the trouble. Sometimes people just expect with a high amount of followers or whatever, they just assume that you're doing well. I mean, sometimes, you know, if I've done a couple of things, people go, oh, Jamesy, you're smashing it. And I think, oh, I know it looks like maybe that, but actually the reality behind it is maybe not necessarily so.
Yeah,
in terms of
man.
of like money in your bank,
100%,
you know what I mean?
man. And it's not even like I always say. Sometimes it's okay to be broke because it can be a humbling experience that can also inspire you to
It's
say,
motivating.
yeah, like you get into hustle mode. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
But when you're like, okay, cool, like this is all going on one side, but on the other side, there's no funds that I can, like I was in credit card debt. I was borrowing from like lenders. I was banging out Wonga. Do you remember Wonga? I was banging out
Was
Wonga. You know?
Wonga, yeah.
Wonga
Nah,
said,
that's
listen,
bad.
Wonga used to say, listen, you can borrow this. What day do you want to pay it on? I said, you know what? But hey, let's Thursday. I said, let's do Thursday, innit?
Yeah.
Thursday will come. I won't have the money. I'm like, Wonga, I ain't got the money, you know? They said, whoa, I'm sorry about that. But so then I started using other credit lenders. I think there was another one.
To pay Wonga?
No one.
Yeah.
No.
Listen, no one should be borrowing money off of a company called Wonga.
And then there was another one.
That's never going to end well, is it?
Oh, but they were but it just sounded like, Wonga, you want some money? Have a bit
You
of
want
Wonga.
some Wonga? You want some moolah? Fucking, I've got loads of it, son. Have that. No, don't worry, it's free money.
2,000%
Couple days
APR.
later, I'm knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Where's that fucking money, son?
2,291% APR.
APR, yeah.
Horrible. So then I borrowed money for another one to pay back the other one. So this other one was called, I think it was Sunny. I think they were called
Sunny Loans.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Have you heard their intro?
Sunny.
Oh, bro, I was like, yeah. How much
Wait,
money?
that's my
I was
karaoke number.
Yeah. So then I borrowed money from them to then pay back the other one. But their payment structure was different because you could like break it down in like 3 months, basically,
Yeah.
innit? And then on top of that, I got a credit card as well. And I was like, how are you not letting me have all this money? I don't have any.
Yeah.
How was I like, what was going on in my fucking credit score?
Your credit score is 0. They're like, have another
It's
card.
like, oh, he's fucking broke. Give it to him all.
Give him some more.
So,
That's what
um,
they want, mate.
Yeah, so I then got a credit card. And a lot of this stuff I was just getting, it wasn't even just to be like, I just needed like pay phone bills and stuff. Like I need to pay phone bills, mainly it was like pay phone bills and get to work. They were the main things. And then there was a few other things of like helping out with rent and stuff. Cause my mum was always like, look, you do whatever you need to do as long as it's like legal, but you know, to live here, I need you to help out.
Yeah, of
kind
course.
Thing, innit? So, and the thing is with comedy is like, the reason why I had to keep borrowing money for these lenders, because comedy, you know, sometimes you do a show, and I was doing shows where you turn up, do the show, and the promoter send you, oh yeah, we'll pay you £200. You're like, oh, wicked, man, that's great. Already in my head, I'm like, I've spent the money.
Yeah.
And then you do the show, and then like, yeah, so if you send us account details, we'll transfer it to you next week. And I'm like, bro, I need it now.
Just give me 200 now, yeah.
I mean, and that's good if they transfer it next week. Usually it's like, could be like a month or two
yeah,
later.
and then like if I do like more professional shows, then they're saying it's a month. But I'm like, why don't you tell me to do the invoice before? Then it would have been, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was always kind of like going like one step forward, two steps back a lot of the time kind of thing. But I'd always say it was massively humbling. I was very fortunate. I wasn't in a lot of debt, if that makes sense. It was manageable, but yeah.
So Wonga got their money
experience.
back.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Everyone got their money back. But listen, the day I paid off my credit card, boy, I was so cocky, man.
Yeah, I bet.
He's like, hi, what would you like to call about? I need to pay it for my credit card. Oh, just a chunk. I was like, no, I had to pay it off. Then I had to cancel it.
Pay it all.
And he's like, oh, you sure you want to cancel it?
Did you pay off the credit card after the tour?
Yeah, a little bit afterwards.
Yeah.
Because at this point, this is when we had done part of the first tour. This was a couple of cans tour.
Yeah.
We'd done that first part of the tour.
What was it called?
I still broke a couple of cans.
Calacan.
Yeah.
Calacan.
Do you know, I wanted to call it Momentum at the time, yeah. But like, Polly was like, this couple of cans thing is kind of working.
Yeah.
So I think we should go with that. And I can't, it made sense because that's what people knew me as.
Was it like
what I mean?
majority gazer stuff? The show?
You know what? So how I used to do the show, right? Because I was like, look, I had this set that I've been working on since I was doing stand-up. So I had a nice hour. But people were saying, so what are you gonna do? Because I've followed your stuff. I see you online. And I'd say probably 90% of my audience had never seen my stuff before.
Stand up, yeah.
So they was a bit like, everyone kept messaging, so what are you gonna do? Like, what's the plan? Like, you gonna do characters all night, or you gonna bring the wigs out and stuff?
Yeah.
So I said, all right, you need to think of a plan. So start the show, I'd come out as the geezer, yeah? I'd have the hat. I used to have these cans in a bag. I used to red.
Yeah, like a blue bag.
Yeah. I had these
Standard.
cans. I'd come out to some reggae music, and people would go mad. Like people would stand up, hey, fucking hell. Like people would lose their mind. Like, you know when people say, yeah, like when they perform, and because I wasn't being me, I was being a character, innit? You can be whoever you want when you're the character.
Of course.
So I was fully in this character, innit?
Yeah.
I had when I think back at it now, it's kind of cringe, but I'd have the cans and I'm like, what's going on? What's your fucking name? And this guy was like, I was like, who's me? I was like, stand up. This guy sat down. I goes, what's your fucking name? He goes, my name's like, oh, fucking get his name and sit down. It was so rude. It was so rude. But people loved it.
They loved it,
I remember I came out once and this girl, I was like, who wants a can? This guy he's like, I'll have a can. I was like, stand up, stretch. I was like, fuck off, man.
You ain't having a fucking can.
My favourite is when you used to call Julia Slag. What is Slag? That was the best.
Stuff like that. So when I used to, because obviously, I like, you know, I live in Peckham, innit? So I'm very local to the area. So I grew up like Camberwell. So I go to like Fox on the Hill, which is like up the road and stuff. And I'll be eating like with my mum and stuff. And then I'd get guys like, what's happening? What's up, Barbados? I'm like, oh, big up, man. Cool. What's happening? You fucking slag. My mum's like, what? I don't understand. Why would they say that? So yeah, like it was interesting. Like people, that time, like people still say it now. Do you know what I mean? But at the time, it was like at his height. Or like people be like, you're the Barbados guy. Go on, say it. And I'm like, no. Come on. Like, all right, leave that, you fucking slag. Like, it was a fun time, man. It was a really, really fun time. But especially that first part of the tour. Like, so I do the geezer, and then Cake Herd would come on. He was supporting. He done about 10, 15 minutes. Then I'd come back out as the roadman. And even that, again, I get to be the character. But it's like, it goes from this obnoxious like geezer who's giving out cans to the roadman. I was like, hey, what's going on, lad? What's going on? Hey, like, chill. But I wanted to smile, innit? But I've got to be serious.
Yeah, of course.
But people like were so encapsulated by the characters. Then we'd have a break and then I'd do my hour.
You come out as Mo.
Yeah, but
And then
I
you can smile.
felt like after that, people was already, well, we've seen what we need to see.
Yeah,
So
I got
like,
you.
So now you're trying to sell Mo Gilligan to
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I remember at one point I said to Ricardo, who's my DJ One Touch, I said, look, when I come out in this second half, I beg you tell them to stand up and clap and stuff.
Yeah.
People seem so uninterested. They was like, because it's like, they've seen me for like come out twice. And then now they're coming out as me, they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, like we've
we
we've
go.
we've
We've
seen
had the
you
bits
now,
we
innit?
wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. So it was a nice moment, man. We had to really like, we had to give the people like what they wanted. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's the thing that always, it got me where I needed to get to. Do you know what I mean?
And I think you doing them characters, and I mean at that time you just
thanks, man.
you just completely taken over like social media. You know what I mean?
Oh, thank you.
I think I've said this to you before, but I'm like before. Until you sort of changed the game, I think, for every comedian out there. It was like after you come and you blew up and you become the success that you are now. It was like now comedians, their mentality changed of like, oh, I need to be a stand-up comedian, but I've also got to produce content. The only way is not just the Edinburgh Fringe anymore. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I think
man.
you completely changed. You know what I mean? You completely changed it all for us, really.
I think at the time it was like, like doing content and how social media was, it was like you had 15 seconds and then it went to a minute. So for some comics, it was like, how do I do this content thing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
What is the thing that I do
Yeah.
that, like, what is my thing? So now it's great when you see, whether some people realize it's like podcasts are their thing or doing characters their thing or social commentary. Do you know what I mean? But you can still have who you are as a comic. Do you know what I mean? So people can say, oh, I like your sketches and stuff. But then you can still say to them, yeah, I do stand-up as well. Do you know what I mean? And I think then the internet changed because now it's more shareable. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's sharing stuff as opposed to screenshotting it and putting it in a WhatsApp group.
Yeah, if you want a
I mean?
video to do well, it has to be shared.
Yeah. Now, like, sharing and that TikTok space works so well for comics. But I think what I like now is seeing comics where, like seeing people's sets and stuff, it just blows up and it can go viral. That's like another part of
it.
A part of it now.
Yeah,
do you know what I
definitely.
mean? So you don't have to even do social media. You can just be like, I'm just going to show people my crowd work clips.
Yeah.
And the crowd work clips.
Yeah, keep the jokes for the
go
show,
viral.
but
Yeah,
the crowd
yeah.
work can go
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
see,
That's it, man.
that's one thing I'm looking forward to doing my tour, because not that it bothers me, but like so many times that if say I was at Lakeside fucking yesterday and I heard geezer, oh, that's geezer from the videos, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, oh, that's cool that your name's getting bigger through that work. But
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
as a stand-up comedian, where we start as stand-up comedians, it's still like, oh, like I'm a stand-up. I want you to say
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
yeah.
stand-up
That's that
comedian.
comedian.
Yes, yeah,
Do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
As
yeah,
opposed to that's the
yeah.
guy that does the funny videos. Like,
Yeah,
sound
yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
some. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The
yeah.
influencer.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I had the same thing. Yeah,
but
'cause-
it is what it is.
yeah, I had the same thing where people was like, say, oh, you're the Couple of Cans guy, you're the Barbados guy. But I'd always say embrace it, because it's like, it's got someone to come to whether they've seen you at a show, they have a reference point. So when they see you perform, they're like, oh, I like his video, he's going to be good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like sometimes whenever you do, just a normal comedy night and people don't know who you are, they're like, oh, okay, well, make me laugh then. Are you funny?
Yeah.
So if they've seen the funny video, then it lets them know that like, oh yeah, he's funny. Yeah. Okay, I'm locked in now.
Let's see what he's got.
I'm not going to go toilet. I'll quickly watch. Because for a long time, I was like, no, man, I'm a comic, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. You sound like you said before, like purist. Like, no, I'm a
Yeah. Whereas now I just embrace it. Where some I've been on the tour and in other countries, and people have like, bro, I've never seen your stuff before, but I've seen that geezer thing you done with Van Robinson. That's why I came and bought a ticket.
Really?
And I'm like, what? Do you know how much stuff
Really?
I've done in the last year? But if that got you to buy a ticket,
That's good.
then it's fine, man.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
of
mean?
course.
So yeah, I
That is a funny
I
video.
embrace it. No, thanks, man. We done it in one take, you know.
Really?
Did you really?
Yeah. So how it happened, we just said, look, because at the time we were trying to do for latest show, we was trying to do. So in COVID, I done a lot of sketches, but like with green screen, and it was all in my house.
Yeah.
So all on green screen with other shows. So I was putting myself in like, I don't know. I think one of them was First Dates.
You've done the first dates. You've done the boy from Essex.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, it's blinding. I'm just like, how has he nailed this? I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's me. I'm pretty sure he's been on my profile. And I think it was like, and the bloke, she tries to pay, and he's just like, not having it.
Yeah, no, you can't allow that in Essex, bro.
He's not having it,
You know, it was interesting. When I started doing the geezer videos, I think I'd done a video which was like Essex guys on a night out.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I do a character or an idea, I'm always like, I always want to make people laugh, but I don't want to make people watch it and they feel offended. Like, you taking the piss out of how we are.
Yeah, the Essex guys.
I want you to laugh with me, innit? But then, like, when I'd play football, like, the guys who were from Essex, I always notice, I was like, you guys speak really fast. It's like your geezers, but sped up a little bit, yeah? Like, it's just a lot quicker, do you know what I mean?
Fast geezers.
Yeah. Whereas, like, some of the other guys who are from South London and East London that I play football with, they'd be like the slower version of geezers, do you know what I mean? They'd be a bit more cooler and a bit more chilled and stuff. So one of the ideas I had, which was like, I think it was like an Essex geezer on a night out, because what I used to do, I didn't used to, I do it now, I caption the video and say what's going on. But at the time I didn't. So you'd have to watch it and understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think one of them is just like, he's like trying to buy a girl a drink. And I recorded it and I was trying to speak as fast as I could. And it was so hard to do. And I was like, I don't think anyone's going to find this funny, man. I didn't have a wig on or anything. I was like, what's going on, babes? Obviously, you don't know me. I don't know you. Obviously, like, you're a nice bird. Obviously, I'm just a normal guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, my dad, like, is trading. Obviously, like, I do work in the city. Oh, yeah, I do have a Range Rover. Obviously, I'm trying to get to know you. Like, what I'm saying, like, do you want to drink? What I'm saying, do you want to drink? Do you want to drink? And I'd done it. And I was like, I don't know if anyone's going to find this funny.
Yeah, no, it's good.
And then I get into, when I start making videos and I'm like, okay, let's get the, add the voices in, for example, or like, whether it's like, what kind of music will be playing. So I'm like, okay, if it's Essex, it's gonna be Sugar Hut. Don't get me wrong, I've never been Sugar Hut, but I've just seen it. I've seen it on Tower. I've seen it on Towie. So I have a reference point. And I was like, I'll put this out. And I think I put it out on a Saturday. I don't really put videos out on a Saturday. Don't do very well. And it blew up, man.
Yeah.
It was so many people that was tagging their friends. It was like, oh my God, we know this guy and stuff. So
it's the reference, it's those small references like Sugar Hut. It's just like, it's a nice.
So what, it was Sugar Hut was the background?
No, it was just, I didn't even have a background. I think it was just I think it was at my mum's house at the time. And because I worked in Reiss, I had one of those, those like jumpers that they have like the 3 buttons here and they're quite smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like polo.
Yeah, but they're quite long.
Yeah, with
like,
the top button done up.
Yeah, like merino wool. You can always get them in Reiss.
Yeah, I've got a few of them.
So, when I worked in Reiss, the Essex guys used to love, Essex guys love Reiss.
Oh, we
mate,
love
Reiss.
Oh, mate. Reiss is like the holy grail.
You guys love Reiss.
Yeah.
I used to make so much money from you guys.
Yeah, the Essex Boys love Reiss.
Oh my gosh, man. Like, and because I worked in the one in the city, so I worked in the one in One New Change.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, so all the City Boys and that coming in,
And they used to be such characters, man. Because like most of the, like, for example, the busiest period when we was working was always lunchtime and then in the evening. But then Thursday nights, everyone would go to Madison's upstairs.
Of course.
So you get some of the guys will come in there, they got their suits on. It's like, what's going on, bruv? Listen, I'm gonna go upstairs, but there's a couple of birds up there. Can I buy something now? Leave my stuff here. And I'm like, oh yeah, man, sure. And then like, he'd tell his friend and then his 2 friends will come in the following week. He say, hey, listen, Mo, bruv, thanks for that. Listen, we're gonna buy some new stuff, but can we leave our stuff here? So
Pick it up Monday.
Like this would be
or just
Friday.
Like, get it
some
on
of them
my
don't
own.
work on Friday. I think like in the city, you don't really work on Fridays. So yeah, some of them would pick it up Monday and stuff. But they loved Reiss, man. They would spend real money in Reiss,
Yeah,
oh man.
You don't know if you got a bit of Reiss on.
Yeah, Reiss is like, it's still a few quid. But it ain't gonna kill you.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
The quality
But it's
was
good quality. You
Yes.
can wash them. I like Reiss for me.
Colour palettes.
I'm
Navy
like
blues.
6'4". Don't quite go on me. It's
Okay.
all a little bit short.
Yes, yeah.
There's sort of like I don't know, there's two types of people from Essex. I think there's people that will dress Reiss, they don't want something with a logo, but they still want to look smart.
Yeah.
And then you've got like the side of Essex that like, they just want you to know exactly what they're fucking wearing. Like, Da Vinci, fucking have that. Go on, look how fucking well I'm doing. I'm earning a few quid, fucking get that in your movie. You know, that sort of thing.
The Moncler jackets and that.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. I mean, I say that as I'm wearing a Stone Island jacket.
Yeah.
Go on, get that. Look at that. You know. But yeah, they there's, you know what I mean? That's, I think I'm more of a, I've obviously got this brand on, but I think I'm more of a Reiss sort of guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Because and then like working in Reiss, I'd meet like a lot of different people as well. So, you know, I meet the Essex guys.
Yeah.
I meet some of the road guys.
Because I always thought
well.
when I see those characters, I'm like, oh, he's absolutely nailed that.
Oh, thanks,
and
man.
do you know what? Typically, I mean, we spoke about this before. Often when I watch different stuff on Netflix and stuff like that, I'm like, I know if an actor's playing a character, I know if they've really been around that culture. Through life by how they act. So they might sound a bit like it and they might get away with it from certain people. But like, if you're part of that cultural community and someone plays a character that's supposed to be someone from your cultural community, you know if they've been around it.
Yeah, you know if they've
know what
right
I
or
mean?
not.
Sometimes it's just mannerisms or the way they say the thing.
The
or,
nuances.
Yeah. Just small things like that where you're like, oh yeah, he knows what he's talking about when he's doing that character. And also it's like, I'm always a person where like, yes, I'm doing that character, but I'm like, I'm celebrating that character as well.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
You're good at that.
Yeah, I'm never
good at
trying to put down on the character I'm trying to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's a guy who essentially is like someone that I would know and I'd hang out and be my friend. But that's his talk when he sees a girl. He's like, yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, I come from working class background, didn't have a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like I'm listening. I'll be honest with you. My dad was a fucking wrong one. Like, yeah, like he knew the craze. I swear to you, I knew the craze. And like, but he's like. Yeah. Like, you know, like when some people wear their heart on their sleeve, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's a nice guy, innit? He's got scumbag tendencies, don't get me wrong.
Of course.
But he is a nice guy, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what I've always tried to do with like the characters. And even when I, you know, doing like the geezer character and stuff, and, you know, I started doing like press and stuff, innit? And it'd be like, I don't know, like the Observer or whatever. I was like, hey Mo, so, you know, we love like, you know, the characters and, you know, like, you know, you've got this video where you're like, you know, you're doing a version of like a geezer, like you're trying to be a white guy, right? And I was like, nah, man, like I know like guys who are black who are geezers, and I'm just celebrating what they are and who they are. Do you see what I'm saying?
Of course. Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what it was. But you know, you start doing press, but it was interesting as I started doing press. I always used to be like, they just don't get me, man. Do you know what I mean? Like when I do like some of my shows and the reviews, I used to have this material about the art of whining, of like going out and there's an art to it, and about like, you know, you stand off, you try and touch her elbow, she's a bit stush, and then you go behind her, you get the wine, but then she turns around and then she's like, no, I don't want to talk to you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But like that used to be the material that everyone could get. But like when people would start coming to review the shows, you know, and it's critics are critics. They're part of our economy of, you know, doing material and doing live shows and stuff. You can't tell them what to write, but it's like, just if you don't get it, try and understand it, because otherwise you're writing stuff that's just like, yes, you know, Mo talks about, you know, the nature of the black community grinding against each other. I'm like, listen, this happens in every other club up and down the UK. Do you know what I mean?
Why you got to make it weird?
Yeah, but then I think what I realized, it was just like this critic has never lived my life. He's never even seen this kind of comedy show before. Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you think critics are important? Do you think they matter?
I think they are, unfortunately.
Do you know what?
Do you know what I say?
They are.
Do you know what it is, yeah? Because I'll be the first to say, if I get 5 out of 5, I'm gonna let you know I got 5
You're
out of
buzzing,
5.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They're fucking bang on. Yeah.
Yeah,
But if I get 2 out
if
of
it's a
5,
good review.
I'm like, what does he know about comedy? He's been on the stage at the Creek. But I think they are important, because like all of us, we want to better ourselves. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes it's like some critics are good because they're good at being, you know, whether it's social commentary and understanding, you know, whether it's a new type of comedy, and, you know, they might not know what we're talking about or who we are and stuff. But hopefully by seeing this show and seeing someone else, they'll be like, oh, okay, Josh James is my reference point for someone that I might see. So now I'm understanding this. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes they might have writ stuff and looked back at it and be like, I would love to change that if I could. Do you know what I mean? So
See, my thing has always been with reviewers or any stuff like that. I'm like, but these people have never done stand up. So like, I get that you watch a lot of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that. But I watch a lot of football.
Yeah.
Don't make me fucking Alex Ferguson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but then saying that, like, your opinion still matters. Do you know
I don't
what I mean?
think it does though. What in football?
No, because sometimes you might have an opinion with your friends, for example, and you'll be like, yeah, like I back this opinion. Like, because I've been around my friends when it comes to football, and people are like gonna fight for their opinion.
Yeah, but don't you think
Do you
it's the
know what I mean?
most pointless thing that can actually be said? A group of mates all giving their opinions about football.
Yeah.
Their opinion does not matter. Nothing's changing.
No.
The manager ain't going to bell up and be like, you know what, mate? You're right.
Yeah,
I'm starting
Gary.
Foden next week. Doku had a bad game. You know what I mean? Nothing happens. It's just talk.
Yeah,
But then it's like, I think it's good just amongst, I think as guys, of like, you need to have all that opinion. Even like, for example, like sometimes in same WhatsApp group, where it's like, you have your opinion about what this is in football and someone else's opinion. And then I'm one of those people where I would say to one of my friends, I'm like, but bro, you didn't play Sunday League.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Who
You
played the highest standard?
Yeah, you didn't play Sunday League when you've been hungover, bruv, on a Saturday. Wait, what? You played on artificial grass. You didn't play on real grass. So it's like, I feel like the opinions are just important for just like, whether it's like the groups, just what I'm saying, where you're like, yeah, like, you know, if you put me on Sky Sports, I'm going to shrivel up because I'm like, I don't think anyone.
Yeah, sitting next to Mika and that.
Yeah.
Well, look, James's thing is if you can't do 20 kick-ups, don't talk about football.
Listen, I believe that, you know?
That
I
is-
believe that.
I think I've said that to you before.
I don't know, but I
think
believe
I've
that.
said,
I believe that
listen,
statement.
if I don't want to hear your opinion on football, unless you can do
100%.
20 kick-ups left
Yep.
and right,
100%.
because that is such a basic
It's
entry level.
Yeah, it's like like playing basketball. Do you know what I mean? You can't do a free throw. Like, it's like, bro, like, you know, I believe.
I
I
just
believe
think
that still.
that's basic. I mean, I could do. I said, I know, I back myself in this.
Yeah.
I reckon I could do 10 kick-ups with my eyes closed. I actually think I could.
I've said, bring the ball in.
Well,
we
it's
need to prove
interesting
this.
you say that. You gotta-
I'm the Brentwood Kaka. You know what I mean? I can do that. I can do that pretty straightforward. But that's my
Brentwood Kaka.
Brentwood Kaka.